welcome to my channel where we talk all things books here, because I feel like reading is self-care. So I wanted to go over all the books that I read in January. I read about 4 books and they were all really good. So these are the 4 books that I read. The first book I read was Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I rated it a 5 stars. This was a sci-fi thriller. It was really good to me. It was very quick, fast-paced. We were following Jason Dessen, who is a professor. He lives a normal life with his wife and son until one day he wakes up and in a completely different life. He is this well-known professor, very rich, but he has no family. The love of his life does not know him, and he has no child. So I was very intrigued by this book because I have been entering my sci-fi era, but I've never read like a sci-fi thriller, and this book was it. I really liked the whole aspect of the multiverse. I think I really liked it because like it's this whole Spider-Man like multiverse. I love that kind of like topic, and I find it very interesting. And to find this kind of book, it is a standalone. Like I felt like it was dark, fast-paced. You're really rooting for Jason, and oh my goodness, it really touches on some like hard thoughts that you're like, whoa, people really act like this. But it was definitely, I recommend reading it if you're wanting to get into sci-fi and you like thrillers. So this is a good choice. Good book to read. Next book I read was Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, and this was the second installment in the Divine Rivals duology. It was very good. I rated it 5 stars. I feel like it wasn't as good as Divine Rivals, but this one, it was definitely an epic conclusion. It was well done. We following Iris a couple weeks after Divine Rivals ended, and we're just following her story on how to end the war by the gods. It is so good, well written. I love also all the side characters developed the story, and it's so good. I love this story. I feel like I will reread it so many times just to go back and annotate it. I definitely recommend this duology. It's such a good read. My next read was The Invisible Life of Adilur by V.E. Schwab. This book has been on my TBR for the longest. I want to say it's been over a year, and I'm finally got into it. It's so good. I rated it 4.25 stars. It was a slow burn romance with like magical realism. We're following Adilur, who makes a deal with the dark on wanting to live. However, he twisted it, and basically whenever she meets somebody, they forget her until one day she meets somebody who remembers her. It's such a beautiful love story. There's so many good quotes in here. So much like I can't like, it's like almost like, oh my goodness, like you follow this girl. Is so sad how like she's basically a ghost. Like nobody remembers her. I feel like is very lonely. She meets a lot of people and she travels, yes. However, I realized that connections and community really like is much needed to make one human, and this book, very good. I loved how it was just one installment. It's a standalone, beautifully written, and it's my first book that I've ever read by V.E. Schwab, and I will definitely continue reading her work. It was so good. The last book I read was Nothing is Missing by Nicole Walters. It is a memoir, and basically we're going through she's taking us along her life, how she grew up from her childhood with her Ghanaian immigrant parents that came to the United States. She is a self-made millionaire. She is very well spoken, and I believe she's a business coach, I want to say, because it sounds like she is a business coach. And it just touches on how you are worthy of everything you want. You deserve everything you want in this world, and I loved that message that she brought. I felt like it was such a great way to start the year, so I definitely recommend this memoir. I feel like when it comes to a memoir, I don't know how to rate it. I rated it 4 stars because I listened to the audiobook, and she is so well spoken. I was never bored in this book. So if you're looking for more like non-fiction memoirs, I definitely recommend reading Nothing is Missing. And since we're in the month of February, here is my February TBR. My goal is to read 5 books, so let's get into it. The first book I want to read, and I'm currently in the middle of, is Fae Bound by Sarah F. Arifi. We're following two elven sisters who currently are imprisoned by Fae, which Fae are supposed to be non-existent in this world, but they are indeed existing, and I felt like it was gonna be so good. It just released this past January, and it was so crazy how I got it. Like, I went to my local Barnes & Nobles looking for it, or no, I was actually just talking about it with my sister, and then we happened to come across it at our Barnes & Noble, and it was actually on the shelf a couple days before it released. It was so cool, so fun, and I'm so excited to get into this book. I am going to be in my romance reading era this month because it's the month of love, so why not? The first book I want to get into is Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake, where we're following this love story between two individuals. One that is just wanting to always go by routine, never going off track, and just really strict with what he does. The other one, we're also following his love interest, and she just goes with the flows with whatever she feels like. It is a short read. I have been wanting to get into Olivia Blake's work because I also purchased at the Alex 6 and I really want to get into that, but at first I thought, why not, because this has been sitting on my shelf for quite some time. Next book I want to read is Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. This is a second romance where we're following a couple that have been divorced. They're going through co-parenting and they are wanting to rekindle their love, so I thought that it was beautiful, and I'm ready to just dive into this. I thought it was so cute, and I believe there's a sequel coming out this year, so I was like, why not? I want to check out her work. So want to get to Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I believe this is also a second chance romance, like childhood friends to lovers, and I was like, oh, this is cute. I see it all over TikTok, Instagram, and people really recommend this book. I have also seen that the older cover, I really wanted it, but they no longer have that, but this one is really cute with all the illustrations, and I was like, why not if it's this month. The last book I want to get to is The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. I made it a goal to read at least one nonfiction book each month, and I chose this one. It is a guide to wealth and happiness. I read it once before, but I wanted to read it again, and I just wanted to continue like learning in a way, because I really read for pure entertainment, but I thought if I can just at least read one nonfiction a month, that'll be really good for my self-development education journey. All right, so that is all the books that I read in January, the books as well I hope to get to in February. That is my goal. So if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, stay a while, and I'll see you later, bestie.